sounds good right now after what we just experienced, doesn't it? Grilling out, lawns being mowed, and pools opening. These are some of the things we expect with summer.
Summon Sorceress is the newest game warping card to finally be released here in the TCG. Well, released is a subjective word, I guess. People are getting their hands on this card at a rather interesting time, but there's still a lot to talk about with this card when it actually becomes legal. Let's talk about it. What's up, my Nimrods? It's Gage coming back at you guys again with another dose of that fresh, never frozen Yu-Gi-Oh content. I am tickled pink that you guys would spend just a couple minutes with me here today to talk about a children's card game we both mutually enjoy so fucking much. So today we are talking none other than the newest Shonen Jump promo to be released, and that is Summon Sorceress. This is going to be one of the most game warping cards after it actually becomes legal, which is extremely weird because people are getting their hands on this card now. But this card actually isn't legal until after the North American World Championship qualifier, which is like, what, end of June or some shit? As you can read here, this is from the weekly Shonen Jump promotion section of Viz Media, which sells the Shonen Jump promo magazines. And this is the Summon Sorceress. It says expected delivery June 29th, 2018. That is its legal date as well, and that is not until after the World Championship qualifier. So this card here, this extremely game-shifting card, is not legal until after Nats, which is kind of a blessing. Summon Sorceress is easily one of the most powerful Link monsters we are going to have when it actually becomes legal. This card actually just allows so much to be possible. Everybody wants to get their hands on this card. It's easily going to be, I want to say, an extra deck staple for most decks just because of how easily it is able to be summoned, but also it's an extremely powerful effect. Let me not waste our time too much, and I'm just going to tell you guys how powerful this thing is. Summon Sorceress is a dark spellcaster Link with a bottom left, bottom right, and a top pointing arrow. It requires 2 or more monsters with same type except tokens, and if it's Link summoned, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand in defense position to your opponent's zone this card points to, so the one right directly above it. Its other effect is you can target 1 face-up monster this card points to, special summon 1 monster from your deck with the same type as that monster to a zone this card points to, but negate its effect. You can only use this effect of Summon Sorceress once per turn. So breaking down this card top to bottom as we normally do, its summoning condition is not something that difficult. 2 monsters with the same type. Normally when archetypes are built, the majority of them are built with the same type, same attribute in mind. So it's not going to be very difficult to be able to summon this thing in most archetype decks. Even saying all that, if your deck's a little bit slower and it doesn't actually revolve around the same type-based stuff, kind of like Invoked Mech Knight besides the Mech Knight engine using Psychics, there really isn't too much synergy there. All the things are going to be different types. You can actually use a card like Scapegoat, which is still at 3 here in the TCG, to be able to summon this thing rather easily. Probably thinking, wow, you're a moron, you can't actually use the tokens to summon Sorceress. You're dumb. But no, it's really easy to kind of circumvent that and Link climb your way into it because there's tons of cards with the type of Cyburst. These are the ones that you can actually go into pretty easily. LINKURIBOH plus Proxy Dragon is a really easy mix to be able to bring out Summon Sorceress because that equals 3, but you know, if you're playing in overseas or something, you don't have LINKURIBOH, you won't have Summon Sorceress either. So actually, I don't know why I'm telling you that you can summon Link Spider instead of LINKURIBOH. That makes no sense. Regardless, the point is I'm trying to make is that you have tons of options to be able to summon Sorceress. It is not the most difficult card in the game to summon, and when you do bring this thing out, you're going to get some pretty powerful effects. Its first effect is actually nothing special though, being able to drop a monster on your opponent's side of the board. That's kind of lackluster, I want to say. The only realistic time I really see this effect actually coming into play is when you need a monster on the field to be able to use with Summon Sorceress, so you can target the one on your opponent's side of the field to summon 1 from your deck of the same type, but outside of that, there's not too much use. Maybe if you're playing the Yahtzee engine with Dragon Ravine, you can have a target on your opponent's side of the field to be able to pop with Yahtzee and then be able to summon MARE from your deck or something like that. That's another thing I see, but again, you're losing a resource out of that. You're giving your opponent a monster to work with, which in retrospect, that's not even that bad if you're playing a deck like ABC, which is something I'll talk about when we get to its second effect. And when I mean when we get to its second effect, I mean right now. Its second effect is that we can target a card it points to in any of the zones, and then we can special summon 1 monster from our deck with the same type to the other zone that it points to. this effect is absolutely bonkers. There's two really cool aspects about this effect, and that's the fact that you can special summon the monster in attack position, but also you can just special summon any monster from your deck. Its effects are negated, which really isn't a problem when we're going to be summoning most of the time off of this effect cards that have graveyard triggers. In a deck like Burning Abyss, if you happen to have a monster this card points to on the field still, it could be like Tour Guide or something on the field, which wouldn't get itself removed, or like the monster summoned from Tour Guide, or if you summon a monster off of Limbic to have its effects negated, you can then summon another Burning Abyss from your deck, which that effect will be negated too, so it won't immediately just destroy itself. From there, you can go into like Dante, or you can link up again, and then get those effects when they hit the graveyard. I think that's where Summon Sorceress is going to shine the most. Burning Abyss is kind of a long ways away from being meta again until we get the new Link monster. Once Cherubuni releases, then we're slamming some hams with that deck. But the most notable one, I think easily one of the most notable ones with this deck, is ABC, and how Summon Sorceress will flip it back into the meta again. With the banning of Ancient Fairy Dragon, I really see ABC kind of falling off the face of the earth until we get the release of Summon Sorceress, because none of the combos that were possible with like Ravine plus, I don't know, an extender, or a Hanger plus an extender are no longer possible. But with one card, Summon Sorceress released, all those become possible again. In a deck like ABC, let's say you link 3 your way into Summon Sorceress using a card like Sea Crush Wyvern, which if you use Sea Crush, you can summon one ABC from your hand. It could be the B or the A, and then when you summon the B or the A to one of the zones it points to, you can use Summon Sorceress's effect to summon the last piece from your deck. You got A, B, C, and their effects are negated, sure, but when they hit the graveyard after you're linking them away or something like that, they're going to trigger and you're still going to be able to get their floats. Fucking huge. Like I said, right now with Ancient Fairy Dragon banned, it's kind of difficult to get these combos off because the free special summon from Ancient Fairy was great. Not only also that, but also adding Union Hanger when popping Dragon's Ravine was really cool. But now that we can't get that like additional summon, we can't really get all 3 pieces into the graveyard as easily. It's plausible, don't get me wrong, but the classic combo of like Union Hanger plus an extender like Cock-a-doodle-doo or something just doesn't exist anymore. But with Summon Sorceress, it all becomes plausible again. Dropping ABC Buster Drake on turn 1 becomes that much more powerful and that much more easy to do again. And that just really sucks to say all this because this card's not legal until after Nationals, because ABC is the deck that I would absolutely opt to play if I could. I know a lot of people like to throw around their frustrations with the fact that we're going to be able to play with this card and people overseas in Europe and stuff can't play with this card because it's not technically released over there. And I think that's kind of strange that we're playing 2 technically different games when we get these game warping cards like Summon Sorceress. LINKURIBOH was kind of on the brink of being game warping. It's still easily one of the best Link monsters we have, but Europe doesn't have it. And I think releasing a card like Summon Sorceress here in the Jump is just exasperating that problem because it makes decks possible, which won't be possible anywhere else. Like, we can play ABC now, like I said, and Europe can't play ABC. Whoops. I really hate how they handle the Jump promos. I think they should definitely try to adjust that moving forward so everybody can be able to play the cards. It just kind of sucks that not everybody's able to use these extremely powerful cards that we have to us. I think it's without dispute that Summon Sorceress is going to be one of the most powerful Link monsters released to date, and that it's actually just right around the corner that we're going to be actually able to play with it. People are going to start figuring out some crazy things with this. If you look at most combos online for like Goeki and ABC and stuff, they're all revolved around Summon Sorceress because this card's just, it makes so much possible. Goeki is still a really good deck right now in the TCG, but it just becomes way better with Summon Sorceress, way fucking better. And we also can't ignore the fact that this card just becomes even better when we release a card like Crystron Needlefiber, which nobody has a damn clue when that card's gonna get released here in the TCG, but when it does, oh, Summon Sorceress is the fucking nut. You might be weary of a card like MEKK Phantom Beast MEKK, which is currently a $3 rare sitting around now. The reason it's $3 is because the looming presence of Needlefiber. Whenever that card drops, that card, MEKK becomes amazing because Needlefiber and MEKK are both machines, which you can soup them up into Summon Sorceress, which then you get a free token from MEKK. So that's off of all one card, by the way, if you're using a card like Armageddon Knight and Destrudo. Overall, Summon Sorceress is just an incredible card, an incredibly game warping card that's actually just right around the corner from being played. But let me know what you guys think of Summon Sorceress. Do you guys think this card's actually going to be really fucking good in the TCG? It is. That's not actually debatable. Actually, you know what? Just let me know how good you think Summon Sorceress is going to be in the TCG. Drop it down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. That being said, if you guys liked the video, be sure to like the video, thumbs up the video, how much especially say you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please do consider subscribing to my channel. It just makes me feel real damn good to be able to bring you guys some fresh, never frozen Yu-Gi-Oh content. And hey, I'd love to have you guys be a part of the Nimrod army. So if you're really feeling some great Yu-Gi-Oh content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to get notified whenever I upload that content, which is normally every day, every other day, something like that. My banner says Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which I'll normally stick to that, but I'll always upload stuff in between too, because it's summer and I got time to do that shit. Don't tell me how to live my life. Fuck you. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, definitely subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Nim signing out.